Hey everyone, what's going on, people? Welcome to Full Chest. Hope you're having a great day today. Um, just something I wanted to share with you guys. Again, thanks for all the subscribers. We're at 1K. The mission is to keep on getting as many subscribers, 1 milli, 2 milli. And thank you guys for engaging with me. Thanks for always your comments, your likes, all that, much appreciated. So I made a comment about Trevor Noah's podcast and discussion with Lupita and Nyong'o last time, and I kept on listening to it, and there was something very important that Lupita and Nyong'o mentioned in this discussion. I think everyone who lives in a different country, works in a different country, who faces any form of inferiority complex, who has a mindset that you're not enough, who feels that they are the only person in the room, or you only look like you find yourself being in places where there are not too many people that look like you. I think message is very important, not only to you, but I think it's also important for fathers, mothers who are raising young kids to put this inside of them. And it was an amazing discussion. It's something that she said that it's just amazing. Of course, Lupita Nyong'o, one of my favorite actresses from Kenya, she's amazing. And I've always wondered what the secret to her success is. And not to mention this, she was talking about one of my favorite movies. I'm not a horror movie person, but one of my favorite horror movies is A Quiet Place. Now, of course, they had Quiet Place 1 and 2. Now they had the prequel, which had Lupita Nyong'o in it. And man, she did a great job in that movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. But let's listen to this discussion and again, listen to the end of it. And I'm going to talk about my take on what she mentions, which I think is very important for everyone. So just take a listen.
I was watching. I mean, I don't know if you still feel it, and I hope maybe you don't because you're in it. But I was watching this, and I was like, "People, can we just pause for a moment?"
Yeah.
Lupita, this is her movie, and I think people take for granted, and no one in the cinema is going like, "Huh, that's interesting. When does the White Star come in?" No, people just, "Oh, it's her from," like where did you get that from? Like this idea, like, I'm gonna push for the podcast. They say no, you go, no, I'm gonna do it. They go, hey, your accent is thick. You go, no, I'm gonna do it. They go, you're from Africa. You go, I'm gonna do it. Where do you get that from?
I believe it's my parents. My parents didn't raise me to be limited by my gender, my ethnicity, my nationality. They just didn't. And I think that is where, because I'm so grateful that I had parents that supported me from day one. And my parents are not your conventional African parent. They never ever told me who I needed to be, except my mom made me take French. But other than that, it was all about what are you interested in, and do that to the best of your ability. And because I was born in Mexico and I had this Mexican name, I always had the feeling that I belonged somewhere else other than Kenya. So I grew up always curious about this place that I was born. And I had books in Spanish that I didn't understand, and I would just pour through them with a longing to one day understand. And I think those things, like those feeding me with these elements of global curiosity, really, really, I think, gave me that foundation of I belong in the world. And at the time I wouldn't have said that. I don't think that I've moved through the world with like a, chest out, the world's my oyster. Certainly not. But a curiosity and a disbelief that I am unwelcome.
Oh, I love that. Disbelief that I am unwelcome.
Yeah. Like my default is not to feel unwelcome. My default is to seek welcome.
Wow.
And so I don't look for rejection. I experience it, but I think I have more hope and faith than doubt as a default.
All right, so from that conversation, right? So the main takeaway there, one of the things that struck me is what Lupita mentioned. She said she has a disbelief of being unwelcome. She said her default is to seek welcome. This is very interesting because I think it's one of the things that's made her so successful. Because Lupita Nyong'o, it's something that shouldn't be, but it's factual. Is a full chest comment that everything about her is like the antithesis of Hollywood, right? She's an African woman, very dark skinned, not without beautiful woman. But again, we all know the stereotypical people they use for these movies, right? But Lupita Nyong'o has constantly shown that she's above all of that. She has broken the ceilings from Black Panther, from almost like most of the movies she's doing horror movies, like now A Quiet Place and other movies that she has coming up. She's a great actress, always delivers. And I think one of the things that makes her so successful is this belief that her default is to seek welcome and not to believe that she is not welcome. I think this is something that we have to teach our kids. This is something that we have to inculcate. It's the same thing with me. I'm a very optimistic person. So my default in anything I do is to seek the positive. Until you show me that you are negative, I'm going to look at you with positive mindset. And every time I go into a place, I do not say, oh my gosh, well, they don't like me already. No. I think it's a bad way to go about life. And I think that's most of the times why a lot of people are not successful in different things, because their default is unwelcome. I have to seek to be welcomed. I don't think it's the right way to go about. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, these things are in the system that prevent. No, I don't think so. I think that what is meant to be yours is going to be yours as long as you are ready for it and you prepare yourself for it and you have a mindset that this is for me regardless of anything, and you have a default setting of that you are welcome. It's for you. I think it's a very positive message. I think that this discussion was good. And I think that is something that, people need to understand. People need to teach their children. Like she mentioned, the role of her father and her mother in her life and how they weren't the typical African parents. I think in this day and age that we all need to understand that you are welcome. Just prepare yourself and don't think that you are not welcomed. I think it's a very great message for people. And I think, yeah, man, I think that's I think it's why she's so successful. I think it was a great conversation. If you haven't listened to that podcast yet, you should definitely do. Trevor, you need to give me a shout out here. I'm promoting your podcast. So, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. This is Food Chest. It's your boy Prince. Until next time, peace.